Let's dive into all of this right now. Yeah, it seems like forever and a day since Six Scale Cantina has been live, but here we are, and I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk here this evening. And let me tell you, I am super pumped up for a number of reasons here today. So I'm getting a lot of questions because you guys didn't see it, on the banner. Am I going to talk about Kuiil? Are we going to talk about that with the panel members? You betcha. We're going to go ahead and discuss Kuiil. We're going to go ahead and discuss a lot of exciting things here with that particular figure as well. What does that mean? With them officially announcing Kuiil, what does that mean for future announcements short term, even over the next couple of months and for the rest of this year? Now, for everybody on the panel here, we have our picks and we'll be sharing them a little bit later within the show. And then we're also going to be talking about Grogu. Has he joined the nWo, brother? And what you going to do when Grogu runs wild on you? I'm telling you, we got a real fun one here today. But before we dive into everything, let me go ahead and introduce the other panel members who are going to be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk with me. And let's go ahead. Dante from Man of Hot Collectibles in the Cantina. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, everyone? Man of Hot Collectibles here. And yes, so happy to be here with Don, with 1/6 Scale Man 2099, and obviously my friend Aries. Looking forward for this show.
Good to have you here. We also have got Don Prime from Geeking Out. Don, what is going on, buddy?
Not too much. Not too much. Just here to, possibly, confront some rumors, some theories, and talk about what's going on in the Star Wars community and, just everything that comes with that.
Well, glad to have you in the Cantina, baby, for sure. And then we got a new special guest in here. We've got Lael, 1/6 Scale Man. Lael, what's going on? Glad to have you in the Cantina.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here, man. It's nice to meet everyone and be a part of this community, and I'm ready to talk. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, shout out to everybody that's out there. So glad that you guys are here, and so glad that we've got the market chart show here live. Like I said, it's only been a couple of weeks, but it does feel like forever and a day for me. But a lot has gone on, and there's a lot to discuss. And shout out to everybody right now who is joining in. We've got 56 already just joining up over here, and thank you so much, Andreas IB, for that great group of guys. Let's go. And you got it, Andreas. Thank you so much for that super chat, and good to see you, and good to see so many people over here on the chat. We've got quite a lot. So with all this excitement and everything that's going on with Hot Toys, there's a lot of excitement around Kuiil. There's a lot of excitement to kind of predict what is, we've been doing that for a while, guys, right? What's going to be next, from Hot Toys. And I was just talking to Lael too, even before we started here, about, some of the joys we have of, seeing these head sculpts, which are, quite frankly, there's nothing like it when you see a Hot Toy, especially with a head sculpt, the intricacies on it. And one of the things I want to go ahead and start off the show with is, how do you have this joy when you are collecting Star Wars Hot Toys figures? How do you maintain joy in collecting? And so one of the things I want to go ahead and bring up, and we'll go ahead and go to the screen, and I think it's really quite simple, is you could see everything here. There's quite a lot, as you could see on the screen, for Star Wars Hot Toys. Now, you're saying, well, there's Grievous on there, because you all know what I've been doing lately. I've been adding in the Sideshow 6 scale figures so we could all see just how Grievous is doing. And again, obviously, Sideshow hit the nail on the head with that. But when you look at all these figures, and there is a ton of them, guys, I think for me, when I got into this, I knew right off the bat, even just focusing on Hot Toys, Dante, that I couldn't get every single one that's out. Now, my ultimate goal is, if I can, before I die someday, get every single figure. Sure, I'm going to try and get what I can. But I knew coming in with these figures being over $200 a pop that I couldn't go ahead and get every one of them. And for instance, and not to talk about Kuiil, but using Kuiil as an example, and let's see if he's on here already. Sure, he is. That is a figure that I am going to pick up. But, for me personally, the Death Watch Mandalorian is probably off the table for me now. The Coruscant Guard with everything that's coming out, that did move off the table for me. That doesn't mean I don't have that figure in another line. I do. As I go down here, even if they come out, which they will come out with the Luke Skywalker, I'm not going to be able to pick up the Dark Trooper, and the Moff Gideon is questionable. So the thing is, how do I have all this joy if I can't get all of that? I already came into this knowing that there's only so much I can get, and I want to get what I really, really want. But am I excited about Moff Gideon? I sure am. Will things maybe change, and there'll be more money for that? I might, sell a figure and get that. But am I excited about the Dark Trooper? Sure, I'm very, very excited about the Dark Trooper. But I already knew coming in that I couldn't get all of these. I'm just excited with what I can get. And it's actually exciting for me to shuffle things around. Like I'm saying, okay, Kuiil comes out, I might not get the Death Watch Mandalorian now. So let me go ahead and I set the table. And let me get some of your thoughts on this. We'll start with the Man of Hot Collectibles first.
Yes. Okay. It's a good topic that you just brought that up. Obviously, everyone would like to buy everything, right? Everyone would love to do it. But the thing is that's why we have budgets. That's why we can manage and see what are we gonna buy. You need to have your priorities, right? In my case, because I do unboxing and reviews, yes, I'm gonna get all of them, but I'm not gonna keep all of them. First, because I don't have space to keep all of them, and second, because not all the figures are my, I like them to keep. Right? It's just my personal preference. But I will show you, and you'll make your decision once you see the videos. But to your point, Aries, yes, I think we need to be wise what we're gonna pick, because there's a lot of good orders. It's a lot of good figures rather out there, and sometimes it's tough, even for me, because yes, I will not keep some of them, but then I'm thinking, I want to keep them, So you need to be very careful what you buy. Just pay attention, have your budget, and respect your budget. Pretty much, don't go sideways, because that's when people start falling through the cracks and then say, "Oh, I'm quitting, I'm out." Because there's so much going on, you get overwhelmed very easily.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead, Lael. Let's go to you next on this. Your thoughts on what I set up here.
I think it's a lot of it is careful planning. Like I said, we're being a Star Wars fan means that you're closely linked to that nostalgia from the past, present, future. We don't know where, but it's just Star Wars itself. For someone who's a fan, who's a true fan and a loyalist, enthusiast, we want everything, but I think you have to be kind of strategic. And some may actually be on your radar, but some more than others. For me, I know what I normally do is, I have a plan of just kind of like budgeting, like Man of Hot said, it's just budgeting. But at the same time, like I normally put a group of figures that I know I want at the very top. The ones that I know I like, but I wait normally into production time. If I've gotten all the other ones out of the way, then I can actually jump on those particular figures. it's different for me because, like I said, I normally, and I know my fiance, she's actually in the group. She's watching right now. But for us, and when we met, I told us, look, what I would normally do is I would buy two of each, and I would sell them off. I kind of stopped doing that because, like I said, it's just I wanted to have, I don't know. It's for me, it was just more of my connection to just the lore. I think it's, when it comes to collecting, you have to be smart. You have to budget. We know that we can't have every figure, but you can't say that to someone who's a completionist. You know what I mean? Like if you want, if you're a completionist, you're going to want everything and you're going to find a way to do it. For me, I can't have one if I know. And for me, it's just like creating that storyline in my head. So I have to have, all the companion figures that actually would create that story. If I can't get them now, I'll get them later, but normally I'll get them, before exactly before it hits wait list. You know what I mean? I'll try to get them as much as I can because we know once it hit wait list and it's going, those prices are going to shoot up. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just like I said, you have to be smart, you have to budget, but that's just know what you want, know what you like, and just take it from there.
No, and that's really, really good stuff, Lael, and also Dante, beforehand. And Don, and Don, going to you here. They bring up some really interesting points, and bringing this to you, you see here, I just brought up, a little bit of, 21 back original Kenner mint on card action figures from the late 70s. And, for me, when I got into this, and Lael and I were talking about this too, the joy when we were younger and collecting these figures and playing with these figures. I knew when I started collecting these that I couldn't get every one of them. I mean, you see a vinyl Cape Jawa there. The vinyl Cape Jawa right now is, depending on if you get it AFA graded, it could be as high as $30,000.
Yep.
So I think like you go into this, like Lael said, now I am a completionist too, in some regards. And I might want to get all these 21 backs, but I know that I can't get them. It might take me 21 years maybe to get all of them. I'm going to work towards it, but I'm going to have a lot of joy, baby. I'm going to be pumped up if I get that Han Solo 12 pack. And just because I don't have the Obi-Wan, it's not going to put me down. It's not like I don't like I was like, okay, that's the one I was able to get first. And I think the same thing with Hot Toys. I mean, I'm in love with the head sculpts, and that's why I got into it. That's why I sold my Black Series collection in part 2 and use that to get into Hot Toys, because I'm just like, wow, there's something special here. But let me go ahead and bring this to you.
But I mean, it's generally, I'm gonna have to agree with that. What everybody is saying. You have to have a plan, and if that means going through your pre-orders and making decisions on this is a great figure, but it's just it doesn't have the emotional attachment that you're going for. It was like kind of like impulse mixed with a little bit. Oh, you think it's cool, but then you actually step back and think about it and you realize, okay, it's still nice, but it doesn't have the connection and it's not really what I'm going for. And other times, like saying just for space, you have to plan what you're going to get. And for me, I like to do almost like mini displays. Like I have Vader and Luke fighting, but it's also in front of the Emperor, and I've got the 2 royal guards in back of him, on a staggered stair display. I like the space to do things, like Krennic next to Tarkin with the Death Troopers, or, a mini ESB display with the Hoth, Leia, and, Snow Trooper. I like those things more than necessarily getting every figure. As long as I have the core, to me, that's kind of the only thing that matters. So.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You don't have to have every figure, I think, is where the joy is. Like people are like, Aries, are you going to spill your coffee? And Aries, are you going to get all excited? And I really am. But you know what's interesting? And I was going to bring this up, and it just kind of flows in, Dante, to this right now. I'll go ahead and bring this up. I'm so excited about Hot Toys. everybody here that watches me or that's been watching me knows I'm excited about Hot Toys and I'm all pumped up. But you know what? Guess what figure I don't have? I don't have this figure right here.
Mhm.
I also don't have this figure.
Oh,
I
that's a beauty.
also don't have. Yeah. I mean, I also don't have this figure. I also don't have this figure. And I'm also not going to have, guys, every single figure, like I said, that is up on Sideshow, because I don't need that to be ultimately satisfied in collecting Hot Toys. Just like I didn't need every vintage mint on card action figure to be satisfied as well. Did I want them, or was I working towards it? Sure. Sometimes I would get a loose vintage action figure Dante that wasn't on the card, because I could pick that up for $20 versus $2,000. And I'm just like, wow, I enjoy the hunt. I enjoy just what's next. What can I get? But I don't come in thinking I need to get all of these. And I think that there's a little bit from when Lael and I were talking again about episode 1. Mm-hmm. Some people remember when the Phantom Menace came out, and it was almost like we needed to get every single figure that Hasbro released. We got to get every one. We got to get every single thing. Which you did and I did. But you can't bring that into Hot Toys.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You definitely can't. You can't.
But, yeah, you can't. Go ahead, Dante. What do you think?
You can't. I echo that. You can't. And yes, I mean, I don't have many of those figures. I mean, I don't have that Leia. I don't have that Luke, that Han Solo, and I'm gonna be very patient until there is an opportunity for me to get them. And that's another thing that people need to realize. Now with the reissues that's been going on with Hot Toys lately,
right?
I would not be surprised if they decide to throw those back again at one point. Yeah. Because they are Hot Toys is paying attention to the prices. They are paying attention to the secondary market and see what's hot, and they want to make some of the cut for themselves, right? So they need to pretty much, at one point, they're going to start reissuing it. And this is another topic that maybe we can discuss later, Aries, or maybe in another day, about these reissue things. I mean, there's a fine line between when you start collecting Hot Toys, it's supposed to be high end, top of the line, right? And when you miss it out, you miss it out. Sold out, it is sold out. But then when they start bringing back the reissues, that's a problem. But again, we can talk about this later. I just want to say that it is hard to get them all, even though I know you want. And somebody said in the comments that what's the name? Impulsive buy. If you start buying something because you just need to buy it without thinking, that's where you get into the hole. So just be very careful with that.
That's when the love affair and Lael, I'm going to give you the last word on this. That's when the love affair, and I think you know where I'm going to go with this, turns into a habit instead of love. You can be in a relationship, especially some younger folks. It's like hey, I'm in love. You're not in love. You're in a habit. That's what's going on. You know where I'm going with this. My whole thing is I have so much joy when it comes to Hot Toys, but I don't need everyone because I'm very realistic, understanding I cannot collect these like it's the Black Series. I can't, for instance, Lael, and let me go ahead and pull this up over here as I'm bringing it to you. I can't. Here's this. This would be great if I could get this pulled up on the screen. Yes. I can't get every single one of these Rebels. I might be able to get every single one of these Rebels figures from the Black Series, even though those are pricey as well. But I certainly can't get every single one of these if they come out with Hot Toys. You understand where I'm going?
Yeah. There's definitely I mean, we're talking about Black Series versus a 1/6 scale Hot Toys figure. The thing is, it's like All right, so I'll give you an example. I'm here. I'm in Harrisburg. Okay, so the biggest thing for me here in Pennsylvania is the simple fact that I know myself. I'm probably in this town one of the biggest collectors, and I say that because I know the location. I know the demographic. So if they were to release these figures, I know I can actually go and get them. I can find them, and it would, whatever. Depending on where you are, there's collectors in certain areas where they are able to, get their hands on them quick. I know basically, what is it? Force, May the 4th. It's almost impossible to get what you want. This versus a Hot Toys figure. I mean, and then on top of that, we know that it's limited quantity. Mm-hmm. You just have to say it. It's going to be limited quantity. Based on the pre-orders, they know that, there are certain figures that they're not going to get, that aren't going to be high in demand. We think they are when we see it because we're like, all right, well, everybody should want it. The problem is everybody won't want it. And right. Because of that, there's not really a large demand. So you may put in for it, or you may try to get it later, or you say, you know what, I'll just wait. And then eventually what happens is it'll automatically go to, hold on 1 second here. This computer is acting crazy. Give me a second. It'll automatically go to, hold on.
Just going ahead and while you're going ahead and fixing that, Leila, to interrupt your thought, we got 106 that are watching right now. Please go ahead and hit that like button, everybody. Go ahead and smash it. And please subscribe to sixscalecantina.com if this is your first time. I do appreciate it. And how about now, Leo? You all set?
Yep, I'm set. So yeah, but what I was saying is, like I said, I mean, we have the love for these particular figures. Just to basically just to close it up here, we have the love for these figures. And when you say habit, the love is for those who basically collect these figures. They do understand that, look, I may not be able to collect them all. My love is still there. Eventually I'll get it. The habit is when people will go out of their way to find these figures, and no matter how much they have to pay to get them, they'll get them. And then they'll find out that, okay, I don't have enough to get some of the other figures that I want to get now because I've spent so much money on this particular figure or these sets of figures. So, there's a big difference. The love is someone who understands, and I have to be very selective about what figures I get. If I'm able to get the other ones, if it comes back around, it comes back around. Right now, I can't do it. But yeah, when it becomes a habit, that's when it gets dangerous, because then you'll start collecting things that you necessarily don't need and you really don't want. And then you'll end up selling it anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like I said, this thing right here, man, it's a contact sport.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's a contact sport, bro. It is. Definitely.
Well, no, and I appreciate those thoughts. And, this is going to lead us right into the next thing. And I appreciate the support there, Elaine Kramer. Thank you so much. The $5 bomb. So let me guess, you're all getting 3 Kuiils with blurs to put with that Mando with the blur, to do the diorama of the OG Mando and his Ugnaught Death Squad. Listen, that's what we're going to get into next here, Lane. And I really do appreciate that support. And, you hit that segue right on the head. People were asking me all day, am I excited about this Kuiil? Look, I am the one. I actually called Kuiil. You go back and look at some of my videos. I was talking to Dante about this not too long ago. I called this a few months ago that I really thought that they were going to release Kuiil. I thought they were going to release Cobb Vanth. I think, you may laugh at me about, the frog lady, but listen, some of these things, whatchamacallit, Hot Toys can throw on us. And let's go ahead and actually look at this and bring this up on the screen. And, I am really, really excited for this figure. So much so that already in my mind, Don, I have taken another figure off, as I said at the beginning, that I was going to get, so that I can get this one. I've already been planning that, and I've jotted a lot of things down on, okay, if they start coming out with these, if they come out with the Kuiil, if they come out with the Cobb Vanth, if they come out with the Fennec, if they come out with the clean version of Boba Fett. These are going to have to go off the table, and that's quite all right because I really want these more. But this, I love how Nick Nolte, portrayed this character. I thought this character was pivotal in really showing some of the character of the Mandalorian and setting up his journey in season 1. So for me, this is a huge win. And I think this looks amazing. Just going on that part first. But what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing figure. You definitely can see Nick Nolte in the facial sculpt. There's no doubt about that. For me, this is one of those figures where this is not a priority. Again, you're basically playing the same amount as OG Mando when he came out for this. And he's a significantly smaller figure. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories. I mean, this in itself is an accessory figure. Because it fits in with Mando. It fits in with IG-11. Hell, in part of the Grogu set, you've got the swaddled Grogu that is specifically for him. I mean, they could have easily put that in this set, and dropped the Grogu set $10-15.
Well, let me ask you this. Continuing with you, Don. Here's what was peculiar to me, and maybe it's just my eyes, okay? But I'm looking, and the first thing that caught me was $245. And we'll put up on the screen in a minute the accessories, which I think are okay. But to your point, I was like, boy, isn't this guy small like the Attack of the Clones Yoda? Because I was thinking it was going to be much less of a figure. But then I looked at at how big this figure is, and I was surprised. It's like between 9 and 10 inches tall. Am I just looking at it? Maybe I was just thinking it was going to be a little smaller than that. But
because Ugnaughts have always been small. And I'm going to be honest, even at, 9.65 inches, this is probably oversized.
It is. That's what I was. You're right. You're absolutely right. Ugnaughts were extremely small in Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this might be closer, realistically, maybe to 1/5, maybe even 1/4. Realistically, because Ugnaughts, again, are small little creatures.
Yeah. They're smaller than Jawas.
Yeah. And this is, again, they're hyping, they're oversizing to sell it. Because that's the only way they can get away with it. If they came out with it at the true,
yeah, I was like kind of blown away because I'm really excited about it. I loved what I saw, from the prototype. When they teased it, I was like, but there was something odd with this that I'm like, and I purposely looked at the height, and then I went to the height of actually the Beskar Mandalorian is what I did, and it was like 11 inches. This is like 9 something. And I'm like, they oversize this. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, right off the bat, even just, this thing is probably at least 20 to 30% oversized. At least.
Wow. So, Leo, let's go to you on this. What is your impressions on this figure? And, and it's seeming like that you thought it was oversized as well.
Well, I mean, first off, I will say, and it was no secret. I mean, me and the guys, I had talked to PJ Wolfoxification and Optical about it when we had our discussion. This was pretty much from Mandalorian, and I'm unapologetic when I say this, was one of my most anticipated figures after Mando. Like literally, it was, and I was waiting to get it. I mean, I was waiting for the release. Awesome. I was hoping they would do it. And when they announced it, I was over the moon. But when you look at it, even on the show, you could tell that it was oversized. I mean, it was a pretty tall figure as to what we're used to seeing and what we saw in Empire. When we were first introduced. So I kind of had a feeling that once they released this figure, they would try to stick to scale of what was on screen, movie masterpiece or whatever. They wanted to stick to that. So I kind of knew it was going to be oversized. Now, when they put the measurements up, I was like, wait a minute, that it far exceeds even what I thought. You know what I mean? As the height was, so it's pretty tall. So I'm wondering if it's just maybe is if there is. I'm okay. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt to think maybe it's the possibility that they got the measurements wrong there. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
maybe that they're scaling it differently from what it really is. Maybe
Let me
that
ask
is
you
just
this.
a bit off.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Leo, because Braulio, and I don't want to take Popsticks off here yet, but Braulio in the chat just brought up a point. He goes, maybe they're measuring it with the stand. And the reason why I think that
Yeah.
there's some validity
Yeah.
to that is I
Yeah.
actually saw them, one of the
Yeah.
pictures on Sideshow actually is him on the stand. So
Yeah.
maybe they're kind of
Yeah.
trying to make it look like, hey, this is why
Yeah.
it's $245. But also, Dante, it's Popsick brought up here. Did you notice that it states the mouth articulates? Now, I didn't know that. I didn't look at it that carefully then.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. I was actually pretty happy that that figure was announced, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because I'm gonna be a completionist for my Mandalorian line, so now I'm debating whether I should get it with the blurg or not. Just because I'm gonna get the OG Mando with the blurg, so I don't want to have two of the same. Again, I guess time will tell. But this one, I'm very happy that it was announced. I was actually surprised because I didn't expect them to do it this quick. I thought they might trying to release all their figures then but they just went ahead and did it. So
Well,
that's good.
Dante, you review a lot of figures. From what Popsick is saying here, how would they articulate the mouth on a figure such as this? Let's actually, and thank you so much for that, Popsick. I really, really appreciate it. But when you go to, as someone who's reviewed a lot here, and you see everything that it comes with, and there's the mouth. Is this how do you think they would do this? Is this kind of like? It's very interesting to me.
Yeah, no, it is very interesting just because it is a smaller figure in size. But just before I answer that question, I just want to went back a little bit on the size of the figure. So I don't know if you can bring that up again with his Sideshow has it with the measurements. I think they did it on purpose. I think they already know that this figure was oversized, and that's the reason why they're showing that, so people can see that you're not going to buy a small, tiny little figure. So that's my thought on that. That's why they put the measurement, because what's the point of putting it, right? But they should put it for all the figures, but I guess they knew that this is going to be oversized. Now going back to the mouth thing, I don't know how can they do that. I mean, probably the one thing that's coming to my head is the Chewbacca from The Force Awakens, that you can actually open and close the mouth, and maybe they're going to use the same type of technique, I guess. I don't know. It's too tiny. I think it's going to be easier to do it, because it's a smaller head sculpt, right? I hope they don't have the same issue as Grogu, right, with the rip underneath.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. But that's what I was thinking as well.
But the Grogu is a bit different because it's a bigger figure, and this one is smaller. So I don't know. Like I think I'm leaning towards is going to be more like Chewbacca from The Force Awakens.
Yeah, Don, what do you think about that? Is that probably the likely scenario?
Well, I mean, if it's articulated, I mean, I could possibly present a different option too, especially how his, around his mouth it extends out. Possible, again, they might even go something almost like the Terminator skulls, where they actually have the piston joints. And again, the way his face is set up, that would actually hide it. And would also potentially, cut down on wear, tear, breakage if you actually have pistons that can actually move it rather than just like a friction joint.
Yeah. So. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go to you first, Don, since we're on you. Price. Okay with $245? I got everything up here now. Or not okay with $245?
No, I honestly think this would have been better at $215 to $225. And again, that's just what I would be willing to pay. Again, that's what I think it is, but everything is subjective. It almost seems like some of these accessories are almost like retools or reuses of previous stuff that's been released. So, I mean,
Yeah, and Layla, I'll go to you with this. With the articulated mouth, knowing that, and seeing the detail on this head sculpt and some of this stuff, I mean, I don't really look at this as necessarily a mold like a stormtrooper. I mean, I don't know what body they could have took here, but I almost don't have a problem with 245 for this with what Popsick said about the articulated mouth. Now, I think depending on what they did, what do you think about 245?
First of all, it's amazing that they captured Nick Nolte's likeness. It's crazy that they did that.
Yeah.
But you know what, 245. I wasn't too. I didn't really think. I didn't think that was going to be a problem. I didn't think that it was going to be too much of an actual issue. I kind of figured that this would be the way it is, but it also went into my reasoning for just going ahead and getting the double, him and the blurred, because it's like if it's 245, and I can pay around 500 to get both him and the blurg, why not? If eventually I was going to get that blurg anyway, because again, being a completionist, I wanted to have both and give him a reason for even existing. You know what I mean? So. But nah, I 245, but then what, part of me says that, but then part of me looks at Attack of the Clones Yoda, you know what I mean? I always go back to that figure.
Yeah, yep.
Exactly. And I'm like, even though the height difference it's a bit different, I don't know. I mean, I would say like safely, it could have been 215, 215 or 220, 245, I'm in between, because it's like, what, it really doesn't, it kind of makes you, does it really warrant that? You know what I mean? Because that is, if you're looking at it, is half the price of what you would pay for a 2-pack with him and the board. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So it's, I don't know. It's the blurg, I'm sorry. So I don't know. It's wherever we actually go with it. But yeah, it could have been, it could have easily been like maybe 215 or 220. That's just my thought.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think the big daddy here is 64. 225 would have been the sweet spot. Dante, I think if they would have listed this at 225, we probably wouldn't even be talking about the price, right?
Yeah, of course. I think the price is a bit high, but remember, this is not Hot Toys price. This is Sideshow's price. So, Hong Kong probably is going to be cheaper than that. And probably I will say in the 190, 185 range, in Hong Kong. I think a sweet spot for this figure would be 199.
That would have been super sweet. Yeah.
Right? A Stormtrooper, right? The reissue Stormtrooper was 199. So the deluxe was what, 225, 235?
Yeah.
So 199 for this figure of this size would be perfect. Think about the Grogu 6 scale, 1/6 scale, right? How much is that one? 120, 116, right? So I think 199 wouldn't be a better Swift.
And that Grogu 1/6 scale, it actually comes with accessories, right? It's almost the same amount of accessories, right?
Pretty much, almost.
Yeah. So
but Grogu is smaller.
Good point.
Smaller too, so.
Good point, though. Good point.
Well, guys, we got 118 right now watching. Please go ahead and hit that like button. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for the support. It certainly helps the video. 120 now, actually. And please go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to 6 Scale Cantina, I really do appreciate the support. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and get on to more fun stuff. I guess that this whole episode so far, guys, and everyone who's been watching is pretty much how to, have that joy with collecting. And I think, with some of the videos that I've put out and some of the other shows that have been coming out lately as well, I think there's been a lot in the community where people have been kind of, rethinking what they're doing and capturing that joy. But part of the joy is we're talking about this Kuiil. And, what does this mean now as far as what could be next for Hot Toys to either surprise us with or maybe come out with a figure that they already have teased in the very, very short term. Now, everybody here, Leo and Don and Dante, have given me their predictions. And these are all, in my opinion, very, very legit. predictions of, when you look at what they are coming out with, like this Kuiil, or you look at what they have come out with in the past, and you look at what's going on. Like, for instance, if you follow 6scalecantina.com and you look at the market value chart and you follow the secondary market prices, you kind, and also what hottoys has done in the past, you could kind of get a little bit of a feel and start having a little bit of fun with this as what could come out. So one of Lael's picks, and we're going to let Lael talk about this, and I'm going to put it up on the screen, and you see who Leia has wrapped around her arm. And a lot of collectors, Lael, have been waiting, including myself, for a Bespin Han. And there is that Bespin Lando Calrissian that's coming out. And I like this pick of yours. I still have hope. I can actually see them doing this for sure. You got Indiana Jones that they start filming. You know that Disney is going to want Harrison is going to want a Hot Toys is going to come out with an Indiana Jones figure. I think this is coming. But go ahead, tell me about your pick here.
Well, for many different reasons. One's comedic value is that Han's not going to let them release Orlando and not release him. He's not going to let you. He's not going to let you place Orlando next to Leia without him being in existence. Stop playing. But no, honestly, I think we did have a lot of the 40th anniversary reveals. I think that honestly they had more in store for the 40th anniversary, but with everything that happened with, COVID, celebration being pushed, them not really being able to, and then on top of that, like a lot of it was due to the simple fact that in the cinematic universe, we didn't really have a lot going on. We ended with Rise of Skywalker. So it just makes sense to kind of go back and recapture, if you're released already a Leia, which I have the figure back here. She's beautiful, in person. One of my favorite Grail pieces. I'm just going to say Grail pieces for me. And we know that we're actually getting a Lando. It just and on top of that, with the, non-reveal of the Bespin Luke that we know is still floating out there somewhere. It just makes sense that they would, kind of just, really tap back into the 40th anniversary and release this Bespin Han, especially knowing that everyone wants it. I mean, pretty much the success of this Han figure, like every Han figure that we've gotten so far has sold out. Even with the Force Awakens Han, even though it took a while, it still went. You know what I mean? So,
and Harrison Ford is back high in Disney, and
exactly.
Dante, we're going to go to you on this. We have 118 right now in the chat. Please go ahead and hit that like button, everybody. But Dante, I think Lael brings up a lot of good points. He talks about COVID-19, and there's been a lot of delays with a lot of things right now, regrouping, if you will. On top of all that, with the Rise of Skywalker and the sequels, I actually see this. I could see this year.
Well, for Bespin Han to be out, yes. Yeah. We discussed this before. I don't want to be party pooper, but I honestly think that we may not see it yet, which it sucks because I want a new Han Solo. I mean, the only one we have is the New Hope one. We need Bespin look. Bespin Han. Everyone wants it. They know we want it. I'm not sure why they're not doing it. And that scares me a little bit because either they just tease this for the sake of teasing this, but no for the sake of actually doing it. Because sometimes that's what they want to build. They want to build hype, right? So people can be, oh, shoot, let me order this because I know Bespin Han is coming out.
Yeah.
We're still waiting. So I really hope it happens, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I really hope I'm wrong.
Now, do you think long term this will happen, or are you just not feeling this with Han Solo at all?
I cannot say at all because Sasha can be crazy one day and announce a bunch of figures that we never saw coming before. I think in this year, Let me put it this way. I don't think we're gonna see it this year. And again, I'm hoping I'm wrong 100%. But I don't think it's gonna happen this year. I think it may possibly happen next year
Mm.
for the May 4th.
Oh well, that to me that would be soon enough. I mean, I would May 4th next year, Don. I would be good with that. But go ahead, give us your thoughts on Bespin Hod here.
Okay, so this is one that we always keep coming back to. Now, I do know you mentioned like the Indiana Jones. That's actually been permanently shelved. Kathleen Kennedy overstepped her bounds and started production on that. And that may actually have been the final nail in her coffin, because apparently she was told that her contract will not be renewed. So,
I did hear that for October, but I thought I read something yesterday, and I didn't pay attention to the news source, so it might not be valid. But I thought I saw that they were going to start filming
Yeah, that's what I
Indiana
saw.
Jones now. Did you
Yeah.
see that too, Lale?
I saw they actually talked about it earlier this week, that production was supposed to start. Harrison Ford even went out and said it was supposed to start, like, I think either this week or next week or something like that.
This week.
Yeah, this week.
Oh,
Yeah, it was this week. Yeah.
Yeah, because last I heard that, because when Kathleen Kennedy started hiring people, the leads, she was called in because Bob Iger still has dealings, and was told to stop because it was permanently put on the back burner. But things could change, but whatever.
They had showed. Well, actually, there's a few like set photos floating out there around right now, a little bit. So, I mean, from what was said, I mean, like I said, even Harrison had actually put out that he was excited for things to come and that they had actually started it. So, I don't know.
No, not Mike Zero. It was Doomcock.
Well, Don, I think that, I heard the stuff about Kathleen Kennedy as well, and so maybe we'll have to see what happens towards October or the end of the year on that. But I think if it is true that they're starting to film Indiana Jones, I really don't see, and I think and I think Lale brings up a really good point. I think maybe they had to work through a lot of COVID things for some of this stuff. It's a really, really good point. Let's push out the Mandalorian, right? Let's push out everything that's new. And I think maybe now it can come. It would be nice if it can come, right? Full circle. If we can start getting some more of these OT figures. Because, Don, look, the 40th anniversary of Darth Vader has went on waitlist. Okay, that's gone. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the ESB 40th Boba Fett that is going to hit waitlist any minute. And I think it's time with some of these figures that have, hit waitlist, some of these OT figures, some of these legacy figures, like you have the Qui-Gon Jinn that just hit waitlist. They reissued the Attack of the Clones Yoda. That's gone as well. You see what that's doing. Mm-hmm. I think it's time now for some of these to start coming out.
Yeah, I mean, and part of the thing is like I'm classic OT. And I'm just going on the last figures. Like, obviously, I'm waiting on Lando. But at that same point, I haven't gotten anything in a bit, and I still, had an urge. So I cashed in the last of my points and all the rest of my rewards at Sideshow, and I got the Gonk droid set with the Jawa. Because, again, it's that OT feel, but it's the only thing right now that's OT, or, you can conceivably put in your OT shelf. So, yeah, they need to start actually going back to the original, the bread and butter. I'll just tell you this, right before, the whole Rona thing hit, I was actually in Disney in February 2020. Now, and they also had the art exhibition. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I've got, a piece, Grogu and Mando in the back. Because Acme Archives, they do a lot of art with Star Wars and Disney. They actually had a whole 40th anniversary line planned that was going to be released, later in the year. That was canceled because of COVID. So, just in as examples, some plans were absolutely killed by, the COVID thing.
It's
now,
a real thing.
Who's to say they don't release this under the 40th anniversary banner?
Well, absolutely. And Lale, this is another one of your picks, and one that I really, 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 and I talked about it actually. I think it was either this week's video or last week's podcast that I did. You know, everything really changed for me. Well, when they went ahead and they released, and I was calling it, but they actually did it. The Mandalorian Ahsoka, while the Clone Wars Ahsoka was up, and
Yeah.
Ahsoka
Yeah.
is awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, I love that character, but
Yes.
Luke,
Yes.
I think Luke for a lot of people may be the cream of the crop, and
Yeah.
and I don't think there's any problem having a few Lukes up on there. I
Not at
actually
all.
think this is coming.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's. I mean, it's inevitable at this particular time. It's going to come. I mean, I think they know that the hype is actually there, but then it's kind of hard to tell because, like I said, Hot Toy surprises us all the time with their picks. But I mean, with this, I think. I mean, again, I think like we've been talking about, like Don said. I mean, COVID really knocked a lot of plans. I mean, because you got to keep in mind, I was really anticipating a lot of these and a lot of the releases and announcements. Because you got to remember, in August, I mean, Celebration was supposed to have already gone and passed. You know what I mean? Come and go and passed. So Celebration we should have actually had, which normally during Celebration, which would have been the 40th anniversary celebration at that time, we would have gotten a lot more releases. Now that they've actually had to forcibly push it to 2022, a lot of those releases have been strategically placed in certain areas. I think that we might get a Toy Fair exclusive. Who knows? There's so many different things that we're looking at right now, but I know we will. I mean, it'd be, I think, you know what? It's almost certain that we'll get this figure, but here's my thing. Do you think they'll get this figure before or after Mando Luke?
You know what I think that they would do with this, and I think that's a great question. Is it possible that Hot Toys can issue them both at the same time? Imagine if they went ahead and did that, where they would go ahead and give us, wow, here is Luke Skywalker from The Mandalorian Season 2. You have a Grogu with that and whatever else they're going to do. And by the way, here's another Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary package item with Bespin Luke. And I really think, Dante, that what they could do here is they can be like, you know what? There's so much excitement about Luke. Let's face it, Luke is reinvigorated in the Star Wars world the way he came back. And what better way to not only promote the Snowtrooper in the 40th anniversary pack? I'll have to adjust everything because I'm telling you, Dante, I'll get, and I know a lot of collectors will, and maybe chime in the chat if you would too. I would get the Snowspeeder Pilot Luke, baby. I would go ahead and get the Bespin Luke, and I'm going to go ahead and get just about every Luke they put out.
Yeah, and I think if they decide to do it both at the same time, it will probably be Bespin Han and Bespin Luke, just to kind of like here, right? Since they already actually properly teased Bespin Luke, right? So if that happens, right, I think we will see most likely Mando Luke before the end of the year. That's what I think. It will be sweet if we can have a Bespin Han, but as I said before, Hot Toys is I don't know. I don't know if they have a thing with Harrison Ford that they don't want to do it, or they just tease that little arm just for the people.
It's all about the money. He's gonna do what Disney tells him to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what it is, right? But I don't know. Time will tell. But I think that it is a possibility that we may see a Bespin Luke before Bespin Han. I think.
Well, I tell you what, I'm fine with that, but I still would want them both, baby. Come on, Don. What do you think about this? Could they give us both, or are they going to do what Dante said, give us one at a time, or what do you think? Or a two-pack? Honestly, I don't want to say the word two-pack.
Yeah, two-pack. Yeah, two-pack would never happen.
Never happen.
Honestly, I could see them, if they're going to do it, I see them doing a Luke first, because again, if they do an actual Bespin Han, then that gives them the actual okay to, again, do an Empire Chewie and give them the C-3PO backpack.
Well, besides that, Don, what about a Bespin Luke with a Mando Luke? Two Lukes at once.
I could potentially see them doing that because they're supposed to be technically two different Lukes. Mando Luke is the be-all, end-all Jedi Master. Empire Luke he's literally, in day 3 of training. Day 3 of legit training. So they're different characters, there are different points in the character's, journey. So, I mean, you could almost say they are essentially like 2 different characters, if you want.
And let's go ahead. And first, we got over 120 in the watching right now. Please hit that like button, everybody. Thank you so much for the support. And please subscribe to sixscalecantina.com. So appreciate it. And let's go ahead. We got a from Rodrigo 1/6. Thank you so much. Hi all. I'm sorry, but I can't think they'd release a reissue instead of a new figure. A Mandalorian Luke would be picked up by everyone, not Bespin. Well, so I agree with you, Rodrigo. Here's the thing, and maybe you know if the Bespin was a reissue. But I don't think, Dante, I'll go to you. I don't think that the Bespin Luke that they've been showing at the last 2 shows at their shows is actually a DXO. I think it's a new sculpt, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
No, it is a new sculpt. And I think, I don't know, Don, I think you mentioned before that they will probably gonna do only one version of Bespin Luke, right? It will not be a 2-pack like the original one, correct?
Yeah, I potentially see, again, it's not 2 bodies, but you'll get multiple head sculpts. Then you get multiple clothing options. Then you obviously you get the cut off hand. It's a peg you put into the wrist joint.
Yeah.
Things like that. It'll be a DX, but it's not going to be a 2-body DX. Now, obviously, I think it'll still come with the same accessories like the vein. Which you could still install to your ceiling like some people have.
Now, and this is, I just thought about this. What about if they do the Bespin the Bespin Luke as a DX and include Yoda in it, right? When they do the training, right?
You mean like a reissue of the Empire Strikes Back Yoda, baby?
Yes, and make it together.
I don't got that figure. I say bring it.
Right, that would be actually a pretty good idea. I mean, just picture it like doing the training.
I'll be honest. You're talking about like when he's got the backpack and he's in half his flight suit running around. Something like that almost seems more of an exclusive. Because again, that is very specific. Mm-hmm. That's a very specific look for him. And then again, when he's going with Yoda in his backpack, that's another very specific look. So Hot Toys probably wouldn't put that uniform in with Bespin because that's a cash cow for them. Mm-hmm. You include it with Luke in you include Luke with the backpack Yoda. That would absolutely sell out.
Right, but again, they can do that version instead of the clean version, kind of like the training version of Bespin Luke, like like the one we got with the 2-pack, right? You get 2 different figures. I don't know, but, that one I would love to see because I don't have that one, and I refuse to pay $800 for it.
No, I completely understand. Yeah.
Well, Rodrigo, but to totally agree. As far as Mandalorian Luke would be picked up by a lot. I absolutely do agree with that, and I appreciate the support for sure. Yeah, if it's a new figure, then I agree with you all 100%. I'd pick it up, even having the original. No, absolutely, Rodrigo, and I do appreciate, again, that support. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We got 130 in here. Please hit that like button. And let me tell you something. This is the next one I'm going to show. Is a pick by Dante, is a pick by Lael. And you know that I've picked this before. And come on, baby. And we'll go to Dante first, and then we'll move up to Lael and then Don. But let's go already. You already see what's going on with Grievous, Dante. Grievous is beating... Grievous, listen, when you sort everything out Hot Toys right now, and I think I mentioned this on one of my shows. I thought I was dreaming from this week or last week. When you sort everything out right now, even with Marvel and DC, Grievous is ahead of everything. Everything. Come on, tell me about this.
If this guy drops, it will definitely break the internet. So you'll need another router. I mean, it will be insane. Yeah. And I'm gonna bring something that Desi said. Desi from Metamorphic Custom said, in a previous show.
Yeah.
They pretty much have everything ready for this guy.
Yep.
Think about it, right? They have the head sculpt. You
Yep.
know, they can throw some ropes there. They can
Yep.
just do the lightsaber like purple, and that's it. I mean, they already have that mold.
Mhm. Yep.
So I guess the cost of doing it, it will not be as much as if you do something that is completely from scratch. So yeah, if this guy is announced, that would be like, forget it. I mean,
Ugh,
it would be
it would break the
amazing. I mean,
internet.
it will break the internet for sure, and then you'll
Yes,
probably see Grievous
yes.
coming down and looking like, oh shoot.
And Leo, listen,
Yeah.
I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about this, but look,
Oh.
I'm gonna point something out here.
Hmm.
When the Clone Wars Ahsoka, which is a great figure, broke the internet, it brought a lot of people that were collecting Black Series, the vintage collection, other lines as well, into Hot Toys. My goodness,
Yeah.
how many people would be like, you know what? It's time to get into Hot Toys with this.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, why not bring the bad MFer himself? You know,
Yep.
why not? Like listen, we were, and quote me if I'm wrong, like, and I have the figure, so I have to basically see. I don't know if it was with, Obi-Wan or who it was, or if it's with Ahsoka. I'm not really sure who it's with. But didn't we get a holographic version of Mace? I think with one of those figures, we actually get a
think you're right.
holographic version of Mace.
Hmm.
So it's like
Was
they're
it Cody?
teasing.
'Cause
It
Cody
might have
has
been
the
Cody. It could be Cody. It could be Cody.
Maybe
It could
was
be one of
Cody.
them.
I don't
It was
know.
one of. We get a holographic version of Mace, so they're already teasing it. Like, and they know that we want this figure. You know, and you know, you already know that Sam Jackson would endorse it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
would
for
sign
sure.
over. Not a problem. He wants to play Mace again. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Like, the opportunity is there. Like you said, we have a head sculpt already. If you basically look at the Avengers head sculpt that we have for,
Yeah.
Nick Fury, so it's already there. Why not? Like, why not basically make it happen? Give us a purple lightsaber. Give us, the body. There's nothing for him. I mean, you don't really need to go far to come up with like a different mold. Just why not? It's there, and a lot of people have been asking for it. It's an automatic cash grab, and like Man of Hot said, it will break the internet. When Ahsoka was basically announced, and that came out of nowhere. Like boom.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew we were getting it, but we just didn't know when. To release this, Hot Toys will shut everything down because this is what everybody wants. So it's a no-brainer. They just need to make it happen. When? I don't know, but I think it's coming, and I think we'll actually see it before Celebration. I honestly think we will.
Yeah, you know what? I can absolutely see that. That's great stuff, Lael. Great stuff, Dante. Don, come on, baby. I mean, like he was saying, they already have the Nick Fury head sculpt. They got Jedi robes.
Yeah.
This is easy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they would actually need to update the master mold because in Avengers his left eye is all jacked up. Now, honestly, that would be very minimal. Again, you take Phantom Menace, or you can even take Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. You dye the robes a different color, you give him a new belt, there's his uniform, maybe change his boots up. Again, I don't know they didn't do it with the two different Ahsokas. He needs an actual light-up lightsaber. But again, it's one of those things, it's like, if he doesn't come with a light-up saber, that's fine, because I've ordered CCFL sabers and I've already got them waiting for Grievous, and then I went to my guy again and I'm like, screw it, my Kenobi needs an upgrade, and I basically pre-ordered, having him make me an Ahsoka's long blue saber from the Siege. So, and it's one of those things too. Just because some of the new Jedi are not coming with light up sabers doesn't mean you can't get light up sabers for them. So.
True.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's one of those things. If I'm getting, them, I want the light up features. But if you have options, that makes it easier. But yeah, this is a definite. Yeah, I mean, it's just people. Some of the promo art they've actually done for him possibly appearing in Bad Batch, where it's not cartoon, but it's like him, like old, where he's meeting Luke or Coruscant.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane.
It is.
That is legit. That's almost like movie promo quality.
Yeah,
and I would kill to see that. That's amazing.
Definitely, and I think my good friend single songwriter did say that holograph it comes with Qui-Gon Jinn, and that's why I
Okay,
remember
cool.
seeing it. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, no, and Dante, I'm going to give you the last word real quickly on Mace. Come on, baby, because we're going to go right into you with what are your picks right after this. But come on, close. I can talk about Mace this whole show. This is
Yeah.
the figure that we need. I mean, come
Yes.
on, we've already got Qui-Gon, we've already
Yeah.
got Obi-Wan, we've already got Count Dooku, we've already got Anakin, we've already
Yeah.
got so many prequels. This is the next
Yeah.
logical
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is the next logical. And somebody said that you may need a bigger mug, Aries, for your coffee because you're gonna be spilling it off. I really hope this happens. I mean, this is something that we were talking before in previous shows. Um, it is in Hot Toys' hands right now. That will be a very smart move, and it will make a lot of people happy.
Well,
Mhm.
and it's a way to combat. It's a way to combat what happened with Grievous, which was a very good move, in my opinion, by Sideshow Collectibles. And I think that this is the answer right here for sure.
That's it. And this guy
Yeah.
will be like
Yeah.
to the top really quick.
Yes.
Really quick. Because
Yeah,
Real
no,
quick.
and
again,
here's
like,
the
sorry,
oh,
even for people that they don't necessarily collect hot toys, but they love Star Wars as the franchise, people are gonna be jumping and getting this figure. You know?
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
let me ask you this, Dante. Is it possible we're going to get more here? And I'm talking about right now. Let's go to it. I think I got it up on the screen. This is one of your picks. This is what you sent me here.
Mm.
And you know what? I feel this. I
Mm.
actually think, I don't think we're
Mm.
just all in with just a bad batch. I think that this is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it has to. I mean, we have already Anakin, two versions of Anakin Clone Wars. This is the next logical release, you know, and like you say, you have to wonder why are they taking so long to announce this figure.
Yeah.
Why? M- the possibility, the Obi-Wan show that is coming next
Yeah.
year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Yeah.
want to reserve this for another Obi-Wan maybe reissue. Um, and that's the reason why they're holding it. But
Mhm.
thinking about this, it will be the next logical move, right? You have Clone Wars Anakin, so now let's get Clone Wars Obi-Wan, right? To be pretty much done with that. But I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for. I really hope it happens soon.
Mhm.
Um, if everything goes how my head is thinking right now, we should probably see it very very soon.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Don, going to you here, I agree. I think that to me this is a no brainer, and I think it is a good question. What Dante brings up, is it because of the forthcoming Obi-Wan series
Hmm.
that they want to
Mhm.
wait for that? But let me play devil's advocate and say, maybe they want to go ahead and actually get this out now, and because they want to go ahead, Obi-Wan's going to look a little bit different, and they're certainly going to want to put out something from the Obi-Wan series with Ewan McGregor on there as well.
Hmm.
So I would think that now is the time,
Mhm.
really, for this figure to come out. Also,
Hmm.
I think it would go great, obviously, with the Clone Wars Anakin. I mean, they've already put them. How many display images have them both together?
Exactly, exactly. Now here's the weird part. Disney has already come out and confirmed that there will be flashbacks in the Kenobi series that go specifically to the Clone Wars, in addition to specific different flashbacks between just him and Anakin. So again, there very might well be. We see live action versions of stuff we've already seen in Clone Wars. So
Mhm.
and again, we might see something like that uniform in live action, and so for all we know, Hot Toys could have potentially leaked what one of the flashback shots was going to look like. If they
Good
got
point.
promo art or something. So
Good point.
and again, or they've deemed it that he's not a priority right now to push out other items. I could see either way, but I do think there is a little bit, again, with the Kenobi showing the fact they have confirmed there will be flashbacks set within different periods of the Clone Wars, up to, his fight with Anakin.
Well, Leo,
So-
going to you on this. I mean, what do you think about this? Don brings up some good points. Dante brings up some good points. What do you think about this Clone Wars Obi-Wan?
Again, to me, and that most definitely certainly could be. I think, I'm taking it back to everything that happened with COVID and lack thereof of a lot of releases. We got both him and Anakin that were released, or we saw the release at the same time. Like when we saw basically them, the prototypes, but we only got the Anakin release. I think they were kind of probably trying to. I think the plan was to release it at that time, but thinking at what they were looking at going forward with Mando, they probably want to release this. Probably you might even see it exclusively released during, if they do another sideshow con this year, you never know. It just depends. They might release it around that time. To say that they would release it around the show, I don't know, because the thing is, we're getting a more grizzled, older Obi-Wan, and I think that people are waiting to see those particular images, and if and my fingers are crossed, and I've been talking about this the longest time, that once we get that Obi-Wan show, please, for the love of God, give me an Inquisitor. I need an Inquisitor.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Give me an Inquisitor, please. And the thing is, there have been some rumors. You know what I mean? I love my Star Wars rumors because I can latch on to those quick. So we might see them. But I mean, I think that they would probably want to get this figure out before then. You know what I mean? To kind of make room for some of the other releases. You know what I mean? Even one of the figures I think that we're going to talk about, and I can't wait till we get to that figure, because if that happens, you might see me on the news, streaking somewhere, but literally, I think that they would probably want to get this out a tad bit sooner, hopefully. But you never know. You could be right. They might wait for around the show. It could have been one of those releases that they kind of leaked from the show, that they were like, well, wait a minute, hold up. We want to release the show first. You know what I mean? So who knows?
It's going to be certainly fun to follow, but I'm definitely pumped up. And Andrew, thank you so much for the $5 bomb. And yes, Mace has so many display options. I want that Jedi Council display. Look, I've got my, I think about that as well. And I do think that they're going to come out with a lot of Jedis. To me, when Hot Toys, just like Hot Toys releasing Stormtroopers or Clone Troopers, to me, Jedi, no brainers at all. They can go ahead and release Shakti, Ayla Secura, Ki-Adi Mundi, Kit Fisto. They've already had teased that.
Right.
Come on, let's go already. And I think that is going to be coming. And but let's go ahead, and thank you so much for that, Doc. I really appreciate it. But Don, we're going to go to you because you got me pumped up, baby, when you sent me this today and you said that this is one of your picks. Now, I don't know. I think Leo and Dante might jump out of their seat, but I think I know where you're going with this. But let's go ahead and show it. Come on now. You got Nien Numb up here. Talk to me, baby, about this.
Yep. I'm just thinking, with Lando coming out and then with all the other stuff. I mean, this is one of the perfect accessory character. This is just he is awesome. He would go great next to Lando. You could put him next to Luke. You could put him next to the droids because he just also has that Star Wars aesthetic. It would just look amazing in any display.
Yes. It would. I tell you what. I'll be honest with you. I'm getting the Lando. If they did come out with Nien Numb here, I would absolutely pick this up. But this is very interesting, and I thought you were going to go that way with the Lando, and we always tease Nate, right? Lobot's coming.
Yeah.
And that can go with that as well. I mean, heck, Lale, is it possible we could get a 2-pack of Lobot and Nien Numb. What say you?
You know what? If that happens, I'm all in. Period. I mean, I've been talking Lobot for like the longest time. It's no, come on. If you're gonna release, a Bespin Lando, why would you not Cloud City? Come on, bring it all day. Give me him. Give me something. Come on. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? So if they did a 2-pack of these two, and you know what? It's crazy because originally when you asked me about it, I was thinking about him, but I was like, nah. I don't want to say it, but you know what? I'm kind of mad that I didn't because make it happen. Like I'm all in, and then like I said, because he's timeless. You could even put him with the sequels because we saw. Come on, let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Listen.
Let's go.
If you guys
Let's
are
go.
wondering, if you guys are wondering in the chat, you're watching 6 Scale Cantina Dante. If you're wondering if I'm going to spill coffee, if they come out with one of Don's predictions, I'll spill the whole damn pot right over everything. It'll be national.
Yeah, right.
Listen, Dante, as a reviewer, wouldn't this be a lot of fun for you to review? Come on.
Yeah.
I will hate this figure for sure. Like, are you listen? Like they will say, no, this. I mean, this would be awesome. I mean, like it would be the perfect companion with Lando, and I did not think about this one. So that's a good pick, Don.
Yeah, it is. It's a great pick. It's a great
Nobody,
pick.
I don't think I haven't heard anybody saying this. So if this comes out, man, you're gonna get a credit 100,000%.
Alrighty.
No, this will be perfect. It's a cute character. I don't know. It's you see in the original trilogy, and also you saw him in the sequels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he has all the ingredients. So that will be perfect if we see this one. That will be lovely if we see this one for sure.
You know what would be really funny, Don? Giving you the last word on this. In a way, they could almost use this as a marketing mechanism where they're going to be like, "Hey, Hot Toys fans, just so you know, you never know what we may come out with," and it kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean,
This
at
is
this
an
point,
amazing pick. I love this.
Yeah,
pick,
I mean, at this point, anything is possible with Hot Toys. Anything.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And Doc says here, Aries got the inside scoop from Howard Chan himself. Listen, Howard Chan, if you're watching, you got a lot of figures that people will jump on right away. But number one, let's get Mace. Let's get Mace. Moving.
Yeah, let's get maced.
Let's get maced.
Yeah, hashtag get let's get maced.
Let's get maced. Why not?
All right, let's go to another one here that I think a lot of us are thinking are going to be coming. Yes, Don has another pick here. I have a couple. I'm gonna bring this one up on the screen. And we've already let me go ahead and bring this up because this is the elephant in the room. This is the absolute elephant in the room.
King
but
Zach.
Before we go ahead and do that, let's hold it. King Zach is in the house. And
Lobot 2-pack, let's go. Let's go. All day. Let's do that. Let's go.
In the game.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm telling you, man. Come on, that's a
you
great
give me
2-pack.
You give me this.
Lobot,
and then we all in. Yeah, let's go. That's what we want. You don't know. That's what I'm saying. It cracks the code. You put that out, and it will go crazy. Seriously, let's go.
Well, and then everybody that was questionable, don't pick up the Bespin Leia there. There's nothing to go with it, or they did teach I mean, it changes a lot. I mean, hey, come on. I mean, some of this stuff is like marketing, Dante. I'm telling you. I mean,
hey, well, just say this. You know how Filoni technically retconned Rex and a Nick Saint in Endor? Guess what? Echo is Lobot. Lobot is Echo.
He looks exactly like you. Never know.
I tell you what, I looked at that and I saw that people posted that on the Facebook groups. I was like, man, I'm telling you, that's crazy.
Well, you know who they're saying Omega could be. You know who they're saying that she could possibly be.
No,
Phasma.
What?
That's what they said. When somebody brought that up, I was like, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Wow, if she's Phasma, like that would be nuts. Blonde hair, you never know, and she is unique. So that'd be crazy. I'm not saying she is, but that would be unique if they spun it that way, because nobody knows who she really is.
I didn't even see that one coming. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I thought, you know, well, because I think Omega, or at least before you brought that up, she's the, you know, the third evolution of clone, where she could actually give live birth to clones. So therefore, you don't have, or she, you know, she's going to be the one up that actually has the pure genetic template, you know, rather than the Bad Batch. So
I don't know. They were throwing out on that. I mean, some people thought, hey, it might be a possibility that she's force sensitive. You never know. Like, it's just, I just can't wait till they get to the point. That's it.
I can't wait till I'll just say, I love how she goes. It's like it's like Hanta. It's Tick.
Yeah. She has that New Zealand twang, that you know, that Kiwi twang, Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. Even if it doesn't go that route,
yeah,
you know, you do have a series I'm very, very interested in. As you know, talking about Lobot a little bit more here, and thank you so much again, King Zachary, for that. But you do got a forthcoming Lando series coming out. And Lobot has to come somewhere.
I forgot about that. He does.
And you know what? I mean,
there's no L3 in the picture.
I'll go on the record right now. If they came out with a Nien, Numb, and Lobot 2-pack, I would be more excited about that than the Boba Fett Deluxe 2-pack that's out there. That would take the cake.
I would definitely have to find that Millennium Falcon cockpit. They would have to get that, so I'd have to get that quick. Yeah, that would, come on, man, please.
Yeah.
Just give it to me.
Yep.
Thank you so much again there, King Zach. Really appreciate that. And
Lobot
is Echo's uncle. So listen, we're going to stay on the 2-pack because here's another one that I think that, listen, I just have that gut feeling. I have that gut feeling that this is coming out in a 2-pack. And I don't know how they're going to do it. We're going to go to Lael first. But I'm telling you, man, I am telling you right here, the way they've been coming out with things, and I don't know, Lael, if they would do this where you could only get the Fennec. I can't see them release, or the Boba, but I can see them with a cardboard backdrop. Cardboard. And then here's Boba Fett without a head sculpt, without a Tamora Morrison head sculpt. And then here's Fennec Shand, and they say, here you go, because they know how many people would jump on this ending credit bombshell scene. Come on.
Look, when that's the thing is, it's like, you know what?
It's coming. Something's coming with this.
When you talked about it, when we talked about it, and you sent me the list, and I was like, okay, the first one on my mind was Fennec, but then I had seen it. I was like, I can't talk about. I had replaced Fennec with my most anticipated when we knew that we weren't going to get a Cardoon. Like, we're just not going to get a Cardoon. I mean, as much as I would want to get it, we're not. If they did this with Boba, if they did a 2-pack, if they're already doing the Boba 2-pack we're getting right now, it would make sense for them to do something like this, but
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, if they did that, and the thing is, they know how stupid of a collector I am that I would actually do it, that I would get it, because it's a no-brainer for me. I want both Bobas. I don't care about it. I would actually do it if they released this as a 2-pack. Of course, I would get it. If they decided to release Fennec as a single figure, you already know it's a no-brainer to do it. But if they did these two with that cardboard background, or if they did these two and then sold the throne separately, man, come on.
All right, come on.
Yeah, that would be super insane.
Dante, go ahead,
it would.
And just I can do that better. What about if they do the maybe a super DX version and they include the throne with it, with a 2-pack? That would be like insane.
Well, how much would that be? You're talking about like
that would be
a backdrop, but an actual throne.
No. Yeah, just the actual throne with Fennec and Boba, or maybe just Boba with the throne, and then separate you can get Fennec. I mean, they can do so much.
Yeah,
and that last part, when I saw this at the end of Mando, I was like, damn, this is like.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, like I could,
it
it
came
was
out of
just
nowhere. It was just
came
like,
out of
what?
nowhere, and it was because that
Perfect.
was the first after credits for Mando, I
Yeah,
believe. We never
yeah,
seen it until this one, so
yeah.
I was just finishing them. When I saw it, I was like, get the hell out of here! Oh my god, no, 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 no,
Right,
Yep, yep,
right.
and then it's like it almost felt like they tried to mirror the same exact shot from Jedi, where they,
Yeah,
the
exactly,
long shot.
yes.
It felt
yeah.
like they tried to mirror exactly that.
And I thought when for that split second, I thought, okay, maybe we're gonna see Luke since we already saw Luke coming, so maybe they're gonna show him doing something, right? And then
Hmm.
it was Boba Fett Fennec. I'm like, oh, damn, no, this is a must have for Hot Toys for sure. They need to do this like right
You
now.
know what?
Howard, if
We
you listen, please
yeah.
Listen,
pay
I
attention.
spilled my
Just do it.
coffee all over this scene, guys.
Do
I
Let's do
was
it.
it.
Do
first
it.
of all, the first thing I'm looking at there, I'm like, oh look, Bib Fortuna is alive, and I'm like, okay, Bib Fortuna's dead, but who cares? Look at this.
Like
I will
that.
say this though. I will say this though, and this was part of the second prediction I given to you. I
Yeah.
do think we will see another 2-pack from the Mando, but it's not what necessarily you're thinking of. And
What do you
then
think it's gonna be?
it would also possibly tie into Empire Strikes Back. You know,
Cool.
the Aries. You want to show my second prediction and how it could also play into Mando?
Absolutely. Just going ahead and putting up here first. First, thank you, everybody. 131 watching. Please go ahead and hit that like button. That helps out the video. Thank you so much. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, sixscalecantina.com. And please go ahead and subscribe before we continue on to all of these guys. First, you got Dante from the Man of Hot Collectibles. I got the link to his channel within the video description. Lael's channel, 1/6 Scale Man. I've got the link to his channel within the video description below. I also got Geeking Out. You know, we're talking about Nate, as Nate would say, are you out of your mind? Yes,
Yep.
Fennec and Boba together separately. Are you out of your
Exactly.
damn mind? You know, I wish I had one of those towels. I can't do it as good as him. But yeah, and obviously Don from Geeking Out as well. And then you got a lot of people in here too. King Zachary, who thank you so much again. Check out his channel is awesome. So please go ahead and subscribe to King Zachary. King Zachary. I also saw JB. JB Collection is in the house. She's got a great channel. We're gonna have both of them on the show here coming up soon. We're gonna get that going. I was actually talking to JB earlier this week, so on a future show coming up here in July, we'll have her on. But yes, thank you so much, Rodrigo. So let's go ahead and yes, coffee everywhere. Damn coffee everywhere. You betcha. All right. So Don, you want me to put this up?
Yes, this is my prediction.
All right. Let's go ahead and do it.
Well,
Here we
not
go.
this.
Is it? Did I hit it right? Was I right with this? Is this the right one?
Yeah, but you're also. Oh, well, I thought you were gonna go for the scene. When I explained.
No, I should have. Okay, well,
I'll just say it now. So I think not only is they're going to reissue the Snowtrooper because it's a highly sought after figure, both the single pack and the 2-pack. I think they're going to mold an E-Web cannon, and not only will you get it with the Snowtrooper, you'll get it with the Mando Trooper, for either from season 1 or season 2. Because you also got to remember,
I can see that.
Yeah, the Sideshow E-Web cannon goes at this point for $300.
Yeah.
So
if they did that, because it would make sense, especially from season 1. Wow.
Yep. I mean,
I never thought about that.
Yep, they just mold one weapon, but they can include it with 2 different figures.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, Joe, I think Don's onto something here because how many, we're getting a lot of Mandalorian troopers right now.
Yep, I mean, like Nate was the first one saying, for just a Mando Stormtrooper and an E-Web cannon, and I was thinking about that, and I'm like, well, if they're gonna do that, that's a perfect opportunity to bring back the Snowtrooper, because again, you're gonna obviously everybody who's looking for a Snowtrooper and can't pay the eBay prices, they're gonna jump on that.
Yeah.
Then again, you bring in an E-Web cannon, you can now army build, that scene from the hangar in Hoth.
Yeah.
Again, or you can put, an E-Web cannon next to your 6 Death Troopers and, your Remnant Troopers.
And Moff Gideon and all that. Yeah, you
exactly.
can do that.
Well, we're going to get to the final segment of the show, so I'll extend it a little bit, but we're going to move it quick. So, one of the things I want to go ahead and bring up, and I'll go ahead and Layla, I'm going to bring this to you first, and I got this set on the screen. So here we go. What in the world does Grogu have to do with these guys, brother? What you gonna do when Hot Toys runs wild on you? Look, I spilled my microphone if everybody's watching here just now. But here's the thing, and I'm gonna set this up, and some of you are gonna know what the nWo, the New World Order, is. So to make a long story short, WWE, which used to be WWF, used to compete with a company called WCW, which was owned by Ted Turner. Ted Turner used to compete with Vince McMahon. These guys were in WWF, which is now WWE. They went to WCW. Now, here's the thing. This was very entertaining when they formed this. The outsiders came in. They joined with Hulk Hogan. But this was starting to beat on Nitro. It was called WCW Nitro. It was competing with Monday Night Raw. It was starting to compete with Monday Night Football and beat it in the ratings back in the late 90s.
Yeah, it was.
And people that were not interested in wrestling, grandpas, grandmas, great-grandpas, I don't watch wrestling, but they started to want to know what this was.
There was a takeover, bro. There was a takeover back then, literally. Yeah. And then it was like the whole it was like the old WCW. They everybody wanted to be part of the NWO, even Sting. Like, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the bigger thing, like around just wrestling at that time, both WCW and WWE, every select wanted to get involved in it too, because that at that time was a huge, springboard or great PR. Like Pete Rose in the WrestleMania in Boston, was it Kane or The Undertaker? Literally choke slammed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. What this was, guys, this was magic in a bottle.
Yeah.
There was a guy named Eric Bischoff who kind of put this together, who was running it for Ted Turner. Nobody really knew it was going to take off. You're trying to compete with Vince McMahon and WWF, and all of a sudden you're attracting the hearts and imaginations of so many people in the world. Much like, let me bring the next thing up on the screen so you all could see. Much like this. Now, you've seen this on the cover, what I was talking about. And when this came out, and I'm talking about A New Hope, when this came out, where a lot of people, it was a time where we needed a lot of hope back then anyway. This came out when Star Wars came out. It was magic in a bottle. It absolutely captured the hearts and minds of everybody. That's literally the foundation of what is built on today. And it kind of blew up. This wasn't a comic, guys, from early on in the day. This was just something that came out in 1977.
General authentic idea.
Yeah, like the nWo. And here's the last thing. Everybody knows Star Wars from that perspective. The nWo from that perspective. And everybody knows who this is. It's synonymous. And Don, I'm actually, before I go to you, Layla, on this, I'm going to go to Don, because he was just at Disney World. Everybody knows Mickey Mouse here. When I'm talking about this little guy right here, is it possible that this is the next Mickey Mouse? And this is magic in a bottle, because I think they tried to capture this with BB-8 and it was okay. But I literally go to a craft show with my daughter who sells crafts. And, she has some, the people there with Grogu stuff. And you got great grandpas, great grandmas, grandpas. They're all just like, they don't like Star Wars or know about Star Wars, but they know who Grogu is. He's actually more, they're like, oh, I don't know anything about this Mandalorian guy, but the little cute green baby. This has captured everybody. What say you on this, Don? Because I know you got something to say about being in Disney.
Yeah, last month I, was in Orlando when Disney did Universal and went to than like Disney Springs for the shopping. I can tell you, like, I was at Universal. I was in Harry Potter Land. There were people wearing masks that had Grogu in Harry Potter, in Harry Potter's uniform, and instead of a magic wand, in magic it was the Force. In the actual Disney Springs, where they have not only the main retail Star Wars store, they have the offshoot store for Galaxy's Edge. Everything Grogu, specifically Grogu, was sold out.
Wow.
The only T-shirts they had in either of the store, again, was a woman's shirt that said, Baby Yoda across the chest, and then the only male shirt was just like a comic book style drawing with Mando and Grogu. That was it. Inside the parks, pretty much everything was sold out. The employees were telling people who were asking for stuff they have to go online to Shop Disney. And even at Shop Disney, most of the stuff was sold out.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is also at the time when they're starting to reopen. When some of the rules were being restricted. So as more people are coming in now, that's only going to get worse. Because again, this was just the very start of a return to normalcy, and everything is being sold out. Yeah. And as now Disney increases their crowds, again, you might not be able to find anything there because it's selling as fast as it's being put out.
Well, Don, how many Grogus have we gotten already with some figures? And you got the Grogu basically accessory set is selling better than Captain Rex right now.
Yeah, it's we're gonna get overrun by an army of Grogu.
and Lael, is it possible that and I think with Mickey Mouse they do a really good job because they don't bombard you with it, and I think that they would absolutely do the same thing with Grogu here. Is it possible that Disney can focus a lot of their stuff, a lot of their themes, that they're seeing something? I think this is magic in a bottle, like the nWo, like the original Star Wars, like Mickey Mouse, where as long as they don't kill us with it, it doesn't need to be in everything, but if they mix it in just right, I think they got something here.
Well, of course, we already know that they do a Mando Luke. We'll get a Mando. We'll definitely get a Grogu with that character. I think what for Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni to say that they didn't see this coming. Yeah, right. They knew that this.
They were open, baby.
They knew. And the thing is, I think that you're going to actually see more of an influx the right way. You're going to see more of an influx again around the holiday season. It's marketable around the holiday season. Yes. It's a cute figure. Kids want this thing. Like everybody is so enamored by Grogu as a figure. Come on, man. Seeing this thing, especially the episode when Ahsoka the Jedi, when that episode came on, and his response to every time his name was called, I was like, what? I'm sitting up here like saying it's cute, and I'm like, come on, man, am I demasculating myself? But no, I'm like, yo, I thought it was cute the entire time. But no, I think that they latched on to something that was perfect. It was perfect for them. A lot of people will say, okay, I'm going to get Grogu'd out. Grogu is still selling.
Yeah,
he is still selling. T-shirts, from T-shirts to apparel to toothbrushes to anything that's actually out there, he's selling. So it's smart for them right now.
Yeah, and Lael, he's more popular than the Mandalorian himself.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. He's a more it makes sense if they do it strategically the way they should. And we haven't seen the last of Grogu. We have not. So hey, if we get what everybody wants, this rumored Sebastian Stan Luke, Grogu would be in that as well. Like I said, I think they're smart about it, and Disney has always been smart with marketing, and they know how to do it. You know what I mean? They've been doing this for years. So with this particular character, it's a no-brainer. Like it's taken over the world. It's affectionate. People love this figure because when you talk about Mando, the first thing people think about is Grogu.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So. Yeah. That's it. And before we knew it was Grogu, what were they saying? Yeah. Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
So,
before we
I'll just say that bringing that in, that you also have potential also to go back to nostalgia. Who are the only two characters that could possibly have conceived Grogu? Yoda and Yaddle. And that also leads you back to the Clone Wars. That also leads you back to nostalgia. And then again, you could make an actual Yoda series. if Lucas allows it, for some backstory to be created. Again, this is a two-pronged attack. We're still in just phase one of the attack. Then again, we possibly could, if we see Luke again, he's setting up his Jedi Order. We could see Yoda through Force Ghosts. We potentially could see Ewan McGregor doing Force Ghost, talking to Luke. So, and again, those are also other figures we might potentially be seeing that all come with their own version of Grogu.
Well, and you also don't know, and I'll say this: you also don't know. Is it possible? And that in the Empire Strikes Back, where Obi-Wan says, "That boy was our only hope." No,
I've said that.
It's another.
Yep,
I
I've said that.
It was you who said that. He didn't say Leia in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
he could have been talking about Yoda. So food for thought. But let me go ahead and address real quick here for Dante before we get to you. Rob's reviews, thank you so much. I would like Hot Toys to make an animated Vader from the end of Clone Wars. I think that would be cool and would fit in with the Clone Wars animated Anakin. So I left you up here for a little bit, Rob. I promise we'll close the show real quickly and talk about animated Vader, but I wanted to go ahead and bring that up. We'll talk about the prospect of that real quick before we close the show. But Dante, come on, you're hearing all this. I'm chomping at the bit from the maestro, the reviewer here. Tell me what you think.
Well, remember one of my shows that said Grogu Mania, that we getting everything Grogu? So it was a very smart move by Disney doing this particular character. And this is the reason why. This baby Grogu is 50 years old? At least? So think about that. So they age slower than the human being, right? So by the time Luke is training Grogu, even though it passes 30 years, he's still gonna be like a child, like a small child. So there's another room for a backstory for Grogu as well after the Mandalorian. And if they do the Luke series like Lil said, you can have Luke and Grogu's adventures, So they have pillows, they have everything. They have everything. People knows this character as Baby Yoda. My wife knows it's a Baby Yoda. She doesn't. She doesn't watch Star Wars like me. So she's that's Baby Yoda. So he's a very popular character.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think we're gonna get more of that. We're gonna get more Yoda figures, Grogu's figures, Grogu's accessories. That's gonna happen. I mean, this is definitely a potential of having a Mickey Mouse 2.0 for the 21st century. I think. But
it's gonna change the logo.
with the pointy ears.
I really could see it real quick. Big shout out. Also, we've got some other channel, content creators in here as well. So, Brian Fontaine from the Six Scale Scavengers, welcome in the house as well. And go ahead and subscribe to the Six Scale Scavengers as well. I know that they're going to be coming back full force in July with some some new stuff. So looking forward to that. I think there was I think Optical was in here earlier before too, and I think we mentioned that. Will Fox Vacation. Go ahead and subscribe to those guys as well. This is such a great community, and I'm telling you right now that this is just a whole lot of fun for sure. Talking about this, but I kind of agree with you guys that I think they've got some magic here, and if they do it carefully, Don, I'll give you the last word on this. Could this be, and you've heard all this conversation and you've been to Disney World yourself, could this be the next reiteration of Mickey Mouse? Because even though they probably planned it and were hoping it would go off this way, there are so many people that are just not even casual Star Wars fans that know what Baby Yoda is.
All right, so I think Disney knew they had something on their hands, but I don't think they anticipated this. Now, going forward, as weird as it may sound, and again, just real quick, Mickey Mouse is going to be coming up to join, common usage law. So Disney is going to have to, go and fight and speak to Congress again to get the laws changed. So at this point, it almost feels like Grogu might be a backup plan for Disney, because there's a decent chance Mickey Mouse goes into the public domain because Disney cannot get the laws changed for the 4th time. Because Disney has gotten the copyright laws changed 3 previous times since the 20s.
That's a great point, Dante. I mean, just going back around real quickly on this, I mean, when you consider that as well, and this is magic in a bottle, we brought up some instances, as long as they do it carefully, as long as they don't bombard us with it. And I think that they could do that even with the upcoming shows, where if they do it tastefully and they tie everything around this, but I think it could work.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
That was Jimmy? Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I agree with what Don said. He's usually right with all this inside information. Yeah, I mean, nobody thought that Grogu was going to be this big of a deal now, right? Pretty much everywhere. So, it is a possibility that he might be the next phase of Disney, if they do it the right way, right?
Yeah.
If they want to expand, maybe they can do a cartoon series for this. Maybe an animated series for kids.
That will come.
That would probably
that will
they're
come.
probably thinking about it. I mean, it is a very possible that they can do all that.
Well, you should ask him. He's right behind you. What does he think?
He said yes.
He said yes. Closing thoughts on this, guys, before we get into the animated Vader. Lael, real quick. Let's just go real quick. Last thoughts on this, each one, for you and Don.
You mean on your Grogu? Oh, yes, a no-brainer. I mean, like I said, I mean this right here. If they do it well, I mean, they can spread the wealth. They can do it to a point where it's appeasing to fans, and anybody who loves this particular character. I mean, look, I have the sideshow version. I didn't get the Hot Toys version for reasons, and I'm glad I didn't. But I do actually have the sideshow version. I mean, look, they already have everybody on board. They have people who love this character's fans, those who were never fans, those who still don't know what Star Wars means. They see Grogu, automatically they think of Star Wars. So cash cow automatically. Why not?
Yep.
Don, closing thoughts? Anything?
I think at this point it's extremely smart. It's basically going to be a new version of Tar Vizsla, i.e. the first Mandalorian that was a Jedi, except Grogu, he's going to be the first Jedi that actually is viewed as a Mandalorian. And again, marketing. Grogu, Mandalorians, those are two things that Star Wars fans absolutely love. Put those together, and that sells even more.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and answer, and thanks so much for that super chat about the animated Vader. And I'm going to go ahead and answer that so that we can go ahead and give these guys an opportunity to talk about, their channels. But Rob's Reviews, thank you so much again, for that, and, pulling, let's go back to this here. Is it possible that Hot Toys could go ahead and, come out with an animated version of Darth Vader? And I say, yes. Look, Darth Vader in any capacity, in any way, shape, or form, is a win. I can absolutely see it. They could kind of call it the animated version of Vader, give them an opportunity to kind of change that sculpt. I think it would do very, very well. And I think that they could go a couple different ways with it, whether they change the sculpting or not. But I could absolutely see them doing that. And I think that would be great. So, I'll real quick, guys, on your thoughts on that, just real quickly around the table. Lael, start with you.
Well, if they're going to do it, they better do it quick because, Sideshow has already basically hinted or actually showed us that they're going to do both the Clone Wars Anakin and Obi-Wan. So they're more actually in line and quickly could release a Clone Wars Vader, So I don't know. Like they better, if they're going to do it, they better jump on that soon. I mean, everybody would buy it, of course, and it's also a different imagine or reimagination of Vader, from the Clone Wars version of it. Like, why not? Like, but again, Sideshow might do it because they're already showing that they're pushing towards that.
Yeah, yeah, they might. Don?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously animated Vader, that would happen and that would sell. Now, the only potential issue, though, is, again, if you're going to then talk about, the animated Vader from, say, Rebels, which is actually based off the Ralph McQuarrie sculpt, like, that figure, you would actually need the okay from Ralph McQuarrie as well, because Ralph McQuarrie had to give his okay to Lucasfilm for them to use that Vader style, because that is his specific copyright. Just like they've made McQuarrie statues in the past, he has to sign off on those in addition, to everyone else. So the only issue is, again, like the Vader mask from Rebels, where you see half his face exposed, that would need the final okay from Ralph McQuarrie before it went to production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Dante?
You know what? I'm just gonna echo what Lil said. I think it is more likely that Sideshow will do it than Hot Toys. The reason is because Hot Toys is already doing a different way of Clone Wars characters, like more like a real life.
Mm-hmm.
So Sideshow is going to the actual animated series.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's something that we discussed this areas in previous shows. I would have preferred, to have a to have Hot Toys doing the way Sideshow did it, or the Clone Wars. So I think it is most likely to see that in Sideshow than Hot Toys. That's my 2 cents on that.
Well, thank you so much. It has been a great show. Listen, let's go around the horn. I'm going to give you guys real quickly. I know I talked about subscribing to all these guys. I've had a lot of fun here with all three of you. Lael, tell us a little bit what's going on 1/6 Scale Man, and we got the link to you within the video description. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. You can follow me on the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page as well as Instagram. I'm doing lots of reviews, a couple videos coming up, anything pop culture, more so reviews on a couple figures that I have coming. I can't wait to get a few. I can't wait to get both Kylo and Rey whenever we get them. Whenever I get them.
Let's go. I can't wait.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll do a couple of reviews on that. On Instagram, you get a chance to see like a lot of my photos, photography, stuff like that, poses. So you can check me out there. You can see me weekly on Let's Talk on the Paradox Nerds channel, as well as we do the Sith Cast on I think normally Tuesday. So that's me, Will Foxification, Optical, and PJ. So you can find us there. So yeah, everywhere, man. Like continue to support the channel. I'm happy to be here and talk with everybody. So yeah, let's go.
Awesome. And Don, what's going on at Geek It Out real quick?
Not too much. Just a quick heads up that this weekend, Nate's out hanging out with some friends he hasn't seen in a while. So we're not having a live stream this weekend, but we will have video for tomorrow and Sunday. And again, we do live streams. We have our Geeking Out Facebook page, and we just introduced the 6 Scale Survival page as well. Again, YouTube with streams. Just do streams of cleaning figures, moving stuff, unboxing, just a general community. We like to see everybody. We're all about, just having a good time, being, just sending positive vibes to everybody. So, check us out. We're welcome to everybody. And again, just have a good time and spread the love.
Awesome. And Dante, man of hot collectibles.
Yes. So we're gonna have a live stream this Friday. As usual, I got a small accident, so I wasn't able to do my live stream for my 1 year anniversary. So yes, I've been a year now. So that's good.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Thank you. It's been a lot of work though. It's a lot of work. And Aries knows it's a lot of stuff. But anyway, so we're gonna have a live stream next Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Aries is gonna be in the show. We start finding all other guests, so stay tuned for that. And what we do in our channel is unboxing reviews of the latest Hot Toys releases. So if you want to see Rey, you want to see Kylo, you want to see the Spider-Man anti-Ox suit, is in the channel, so you can check it out. We do that. We do unboxing reviews. We do figure previews, comparison, posing, and I have my Instagram page where I do my photography as well. So check them out. And become a member of the Six Scale Media Facebook group. So anything related to 1/6 scale figures, you're more than welcome to join.
Awesome, awesome. Well, this was a lot of fun. And listen, everybody that's still here, as we're signing off, hit that like button. Hit that like button
Yep,
if you haven't
smash
already.
it.
That really helps the video. And please subscribe to sixscalecantina.com. And much appreciate that. And, hey, remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. It's been a lot of fun, everyone. We'll see you real soon. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.